welcome or welcome back to my channel. It's Pluto Talks here with yet another video. And today I'm in a really good mood because one, I just want to say thank y'all for the love that y'all have been showing me. Like I said in my last video, like we keep going up because last week I think we were at like 29 subscribers and now we're at 36. I believe at this point in time. But keep on subscribing, keep liking, keep commenting. I really love hearing you guys' opinions and, you know what I'm saying, responding, because I have a small audience right now, which I really appreciate because y'all been doing y'all big one. Like, my analytics are going crazy. But anyways, I already know what y'all are here for. Before we get into it though, if this is your very first time seeing my pretty face, make sure you subscribe to the channel as well as my second channel, which is my main channel, Nyyamour. On that channel, I post lifestyle content such as vlogs, day in the lives, and I'm also doing Vlogmas. So make sure you guys tune into that. But with all that being said, let's get right into this recap, okay? Because we are going to be talking about Baddies USA episode 4. So yeah, you already know what's going on. Let's get right into it. All right, y'all. So the episode starts off where we left off last week with Tiki rushing into the room where Tommy and Summer was and just doing her in. Like, I'm really mad that she didn't really get to do her in like how I wanted her to do her in, but she still, she still did her one, and they get broken up by security. It was a pretty quick one too, but you could see it in Tiki's face. Like, she was, y'all know how her face is when she in that mode, okay? But anyway, so they get broken up, and Tiki is taken to the hallway with Tommy. And like Tiki low-key pressing Tommy like, Summer respects you. Why are you like letting this slide? We Geminis. Like, she's saying all this and all that. And Tommy's basically just like, I'm not letting this slide. I just want y'all to have a conversation. And this is way beyond a conversation at this point, Tommy. Like, at this point, there's no conversation to be had. They done fought like 5 times. Well, she really got slapped around, like, for the most part. But they didn't got into it already, and Summer's not going to shut up. She keep calling her all types of pals and rapists. So I don't know who's going to be doing talking at this point. So then we get a scene where Dolly goes back outside and she meets up with Cold Killer, Fauna, and I think Tavy was out there as well. And basically she's telling Cold Killer, like, I wasn't on no hate and shit. I really fuck with your music. And, like all this and all that. And Killer's in her confessional basically just saying like she's really just trying to backtrack on the image that the audience saw last season of the big 3 pretty much being the main girls of the season and causing havoc in the house. And so she just doesn't think that the apology is coming from a genuine place. And instead it's just her trying to like, make herself look good, which I can see both sides. Like, I do believe that people can change, and I do feel like I'm liking the new approach that Dolly and Lex is bringing to this new season. But then again, you know what I'm saying, there can be influences from the audience because everybody was talking about how the big 3 was acting last season, and they were acting a ass, okay? So next thing you know, as they're having this conversation, mind you, they're literally mid-conversation, but Tank comes up, and I don't know if Killer felt her presence or if she just knew that something was up, because as soon as she like started walking up, she like backs up and is like, oh yeah, you're not getting me. So they square up and they get right into it. And they fighting, blah, 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 whatever. And Tank got that round. I'm not going to lie. She definitely got that round.
Caught that bitch, hit her with the, I had to give it to her, I just gave it to her, gave it to her. You know what I mean? She pissed me off.
And Killer, even insane, she goes and says, like, she got me. I lost that one. And I'm like, bro, I'm loving Killer this season. I do really enjoy her personality, and she's really funny in her confessionals as well. Killer is also in her confessional basically saying, like, she feel like the reason why Tank wants to keep fighting is because she feel like she didn't get a clear win, which I really agree with, because I do feel like it's really getting tired. Like, y'all keep fighting and fighting and fighting, and it's like at this point what are we fighting for? Like, genuinely, what are we fighting for? And then all of a sudden, Tank and Tavy get into it, basically because Tank felt like Tavy was, like, I guess, choosing sides, which, I mean, she knew Killer more anyway and knew her before. But basically, Tavy's like, I'm neutral. You know what I'm saying? I just don't want y'all to fight, so I keep breaking it up. And Tank just was mad about it. I don't know. They were going back and forth. So now we're back inside and we see Lex and Summer in this room. And basically, Summer's like, stop talking to me. Like, get out of my face. And Lex is like, okay. But then she's still talking. Like, she's like, you know, as your friend, I'm going to tell you when I feel like you're right and wrong. And I felt like you were wrong. And that's why I didn't fight in your honor, because I didn't agree with what you was doing. And Summer's basically just saying, like, you know, if you're not on my side, you're on the op side. So go talk to her and blah, blah, blah. Just basically like paying her dust, whatever. She don't really want to talk. So they're just going back and forth. And then Summer's like, I need some aqua for fuck ice. I'm still pretty. You already know how she is. And Lex had me crying because she's like, bitch, you do need ice. Like, you do need ice because you look a mess. Like, and her lip was huge, big.
Can I have some aquifer? I don't need no ice. Fuck. Still pretty as fuck.
You do need ice.
Bitch, I don't need shit.
But also in the scene, like, Summer was throwing me off so bad because she was all like, yeah, and if CHRISAN gotta leave, I'm leaving too. You're dick eating. You do not know this lady. Like, you've never been on a season with this lady until now. This is your first season being on the same season as CHRISAN. And like, you acting like you knew this lady forever. Like, she just keeps saying, yeah, I believe CHRISAN and da 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 da, and just basically just like dick eating. Like, I don't know. Like, it's really giving you're a fan. And Lex is basically just like, how many times are you gonna say it? Like, we get it. Like, you dick eating CHRISAN. I was like, no, I'm laughing. But like, for real, like, Lex is just like, how many times are you gonna say it? Blah blah blah. But anyways, they're just going back and forth still continuously. And then Summer ends up just walking away, going up the stairs. And she's just like, fuck you, whatever. Cool. So now Smiley is back. You know, her confessional. She like, I'm back. And she kind of ate that. I'm not going to lie. She kind of ate that. Like, I don't know. I kind of laughed at it because it was kind of funny to me.
This is a beautiful house. Hey, where the fuck y'all thought I was going? Where the fuck did y'all think I was going?
I'm liking this season so far. Like, I've been saying it so far, but I just really love, like, we're seeing a lot more personality from the ladies. And even though it's still obviously fights, like, it wouldn't be Baddies without the fights and all that. But it's like, we're also seeing the funny moments, the side moments. We're going to get into it, but I just wanted to add that because I really genuinely laughed at the Smiley scene when she was getting out the car and whatnot. But she comes in and she's like, I come in peace with a broken hand and I don't want no smoke, da, da, da. And obviously, you know, Biggie is mad that she's back. She rolling her eyes and she just like, you know, she don't want her here. But anyways, so we get I was going to say CHRISAN, Tiki and Tommy on the grass having that emotional moment where it's just a lot of like crying, and she's basically just trying to explain to Tommy, like, you know, I really just want a public apology. And she just felt away because she felt like, if you apologize in private and we already like established what's going on, we both know what's really tea, why is it that now we're in the moment where somebody is literally tarnishing my name and saying these false accusations? Like I said, we don't know if it's true or false, but for the sake of what Tiki said, she's basically saying, like, we already established what was going on, and so how come you not speaking up when it matters? And I agree with that. I feel like if y'all had a conversation and y'all hashed things out and whatnot between the two of y'all, why is it that now when you have a reason to speak up about whether or not the allegations were true or false, you just can't do it? Like, it was throwing me off about that. Also in the scene, Tiki says, like, me and CHRISAN, literally have never been in an argument before we got on TV. And it's like, that is crazy. Like, it really just shows what everybody is thinking. Like, they just feel like it's a jealousy thing. Like I said, it ain't really. I mean, I do agree. I do feel like it is a jealousy thing because Chrisean wanted to be the only famous Malone, and that's the T. But I do feel like that's partially why they had that big falling out, because it's like, why is it as soon as she gets introduced to TV that you now want to like do all this and y'all getting into it so bad and stuff like that, which I just found so weird. But then we get Biggie coming to her like a minion. When I tell you, I heard some. I watched Evander Entertainment, and he is so funny. And he said he calls Tiki and her crew, Tiki and her cubs. And I'm not gonna lie, he ate that one because it's actually like that's literally what it gives. Because the way that Biggie came over there, like her man was crazy. She was like, "Yeah, I got your bag and your water and this and that," and she just came like her servant. She came to her servant. She said, "Yes, ma'am." Eventually, Tommy gets up and she's like, "I'm gonna get Chrisean." So she goes over to Chrisean and she basically like, I want you and your sister to talk. And then Chrisean, here she go, "Yeah, because I've been wanting to talk all night and nobody been letting me talk. Nobody been letting me." Girl, literally you had the opportunity, even though I do feel like Tiki was very emotional and it was like a lot going on at that point in time. But it's like, if you wanted to talk to her, you could have talked to her. Like, realistically, she was all in your face. Y'all was face to face. You could have said to Tiki like this and that, but instead you're just acting clueless about everything. You're acting confused about everything.
I'd be so confused.
And it was throwing me off so bad because I'm like, how are you confused about something that you started? You started this rumor. So they're having the conversation, I guess, and Taki's just basically saying, like, what are you scared of? Like, and that's exactly what I was saying before. Like, you have the opportunity to stop the situation from escalating more and allowing this lady to just call her all types of and but instead you're just not doing anything and acting confused and lost. Like, you're not the cause of this. Like, it's like planting a bomb and then being confused when the bomb go off. You're the one that set the bomb off. Like, you're the one that put it here. Chrisean is all, she got to bring God into everything. And don't get me wrong, I love God and whatnot, but I feel like she weaponized her Christianity. And she just, like, uses it to her convenience, because she's like, "God strike me down right now, God strike me down right now," and it's just like, I don't understand. I really don't know. So Tiki basically is saying like, how come you can take accountability when it's just us two, but when you have the floor, what she been saying the whole season so far, here's the floor, you have the floor, you had the floor to address what needed to be addressed, and instead you're not saying anything at all. The only thing that she wanted to clock and address is the whole big three and how they jump and whatnot and why they didn't fight her sister. But you've yet to address what actually mattered in that situation. It really, like, Chrisean has been blowing me. And I'm one of them ones that was on Twitter like, yeah, I want Chrisean back. She was the entertainment and bop, bop, bop. But like, I'm regretting my decision because she's been blowing me so much already. And it's like, we only on episode 4. Why? Like, I just want her off my screen. Now, Natalie redirects the whole situation and is announcing that she has a special guest. I'm a special guest.
I'm a special guest to y'all performances. Again, I'm a special fucking guest.
Anyway, she said that she got a special guest in the vault that she wants everybody to meet, and it's Daisy. I already knew it was Daisy. I knew that was coming, and I wasn't a fan of Daisy on Betty's Gone Wild. I'm not gonna lie, but I low-key was ready to see this squabble between her and Roly, because I'm like, they in the same type of weight class, you know what I'm saying? And they low-key both remind me of each other because they were some bullies at one point. I do feel like Daisy was a bully in the house, and Roly, of course, with the whole Slim situation. But anyway, I really just wanted to see how they matched up. And in my opinion, I've seen a lot of different takes on this fight, but in my opinion, I do feel like Daisy got that. Like, I was slowing it down, and I really feel like Daisy was getting a lot more hits in, whereas with Roly, she was using her weight and just rushing her instead of like throwing real hits. And so, yeah, I feel like Daisy got that. But what I didn't like, I like Anna, but she's throwing me off real bad. Even though we know Anna, she liked to jump in her friend's fight and whatnot. And she did mention that her and Daisy did have like issues or whatever. But my thing is, why are you jumping? And then when Daisy was trying to call her out about it, she didn't want to step up.
Jumped in. Come on. Anna. One bitch jumped in. Come on. Anna jumped in. Come on. What happened? Anna jumped in. Handle that.
And I seen people say, oh, if Daisy really wanted that, she could have, you know, hit Anna or whatever, which is true, but I don't know. I just feel like Anna, you're scary for that. And for you to want to jump her, but then not want to have that one-on-one, even though I already know Daisy was going to get that. Because Anna, I feel like Anna can fight and she can hold her own, but Daisy was going to thrash her. No shade. Like, Daisy, she really be throwing them. Then we get like Roly is going up the stairs and they're still going back and forth, and Roly strips naked out of the blue and just like shaking her body. She's like, yeah, suck my titties, something like, I don't know. She just was like shaking her butt because Daisy was saying that she was built bad, and you know, she got the surgery to look like her and blah blah blah, but she in big, which no shade she is. Like, I saw somebody post on Twitter like the Roly from when she first got her surgery to like now, and she definitely got that weight back. But anyways, that scene kind of leaves off because Natalie was getting annoyed and she just like, I'm leaving. You know how she been all season so far. She just, I'm leaving. I don't need to do this. Y'all stressing me out. Blah, 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 whatever. So now they're talking about rehearsals and whatnot, and all the ladies kind of gather in the kitchen. And we get Summer and Mariah Lynn going back and forth because Summer's basically trying to say that Mariah Lynn was copping pleas because apparently Mariah was asking Killer why she jumped on Tank or whatever. But Mariah says that when she asked, it wasn't on no like trying to press her type of thing. She just genuinely wanted to know. But so they're going back and forth, and then Summer's just like, I'm pretty and I'm petty as fuck. And she was like, ain't that your girl? Talking about Cardi, because you know Mariah Lynn and Cardi were on the same Love and Hip Hop season, I believe, or they know each other, whatever. But she's saying that or whatever, and then we get Fauna. She kind of like broke the fourth wall and was just like looking at the camera.
Pretty and petty as fuck. Ain't that so bitch shit? Pretty and I'm petty as fuck.
That shit had me crying. I'm not gonna lie. Like I've been saying, like I genuinely feel like this season is a perfect mix of the drama and also like they put in some funny moments as well. So yeah. So now they're in sprinters. They were in like 2 different sprinters. I really don't remember who was in what sprinter, but if you watch the episode, then you know. Y'all, I am literally employed. I'm employed. I am in school. I'm doing a lot right now. And so even though these recaps are very detailed and stuff like that, I'm just not going to like put too many details in because I talk a lot and editing these videos take a long time. So, so yeah, if I'm like kind of moving a little quicker than usual, that's probably why. But anyway, so they're in 2 different sprinters, and in sprinter number 1 we have Anna. She's basically just talking about how Summer, she was like, in the afterlife, Summer's still gonna be talking shit and she gonna haunt us and da 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 da. And so they're just like laughing about that. And then all of a sudden, Tavy and Fauna are going back and forth, which I was so confused about. But I saw somewhere on Twitter that they were going back and forth because Fauna was saying that she felt bad for Summer. I don't really remember like who said what, but they were going back and forth about it, and it got kind of heated. And I'm just like, ain't y'all friends? Like, I don't know. It was just like, it's just been getting heated real fast with everybody. Like, I don't know. So on sprinter number 2, we have Lex and Summer once again. Like, the big three is in shambles. And it really showed in this episode. Like, we really see the fall off of the big three. Like, it was like in episodes 1 through 3, we seeing the little cracks. And then it's like, I didn't think it was going to happen this early on in the season. Like, I did not think that their falling out would have happened this early on. I was thinking maybe like mid-season, but we're only on episode 4 and we're already seeing like a lot happen with them. But so they're going back and forth once again. They're going back and forth once again. And then Roly kind of interjects, and she's just basically like yelling at Summer. Like, she's going off on Summer. She's like, Summer, like, you're being childish. Like, you know, you would want to be a lady like Lex. Basically just saying like, you know, Lex is mature, Lex is this, Lex is that, she got this, she got that. And basically just telling Summer like, you should want to be like Lex. And Summer's basically just like, girl, fuck both of y'all. Like, basically, like, she gets in the confessional, she was like, you're fat ass. Like,
Immaturity is nuts, ho. Your body's fake. Your ass is fake. Everything is fake about you, bitch.
Regardless, she not trying to hear nothing that Roly's talking about. And they kind of go back and forth. But insane, Summer was not standing on none of that. Even though she did end up standing up at one point, she stood up, and Roly like, what you standing up for? And Roly got up as well. And they're like going back and forth, but then Summer kind of sits down. She was like, I respect what y'all gotta say. Like, Roly, I respect what you gotta say, and the rest of y'all, but respectfully, I don't give a fuck. Like, I still feel how I feel, and I'm gonna say how I wanna say. I mean, say what I wanna say. And so that's kind of like how it kind of ended at that point. But so then we see all the ladies kind of like shuffle seats because they didn't want Lex and Summer next to each other, and Dolly as well. And also, I forgot to mention, in this back and forth between Roly and Summer, Roly was basically saying like, you know, and you keep like trying to get your friends to fight and stuff like that. Like, it's getting weird. And then Dolly in confessional, she was like, yeah, she's clocking it, because I did want to know if people was peeping what I was peeping. And it's like, it's really giving, you're just trying to get me to fight. Like, I don't know, it was really weird. Summer feels like she was bamboozled because in private, apparently, the big three had a conversation and basically said like what was going to go down if shit went a certain way or whatever. And they didn't stand on business how they said they would. And Roly is basically just like, but they've been saying that they don't agree with what you were saying, so they're not going to jump in, And then we get Dolly. She starts talking about, yeah, like, I fought Tiki by myself and got damn near knocked out on stage at the reunion, and nobody jumped in for me. So why would I jump in for her? Like, I fight all my battles on my own. So why would she think that I'm going to jump in for her? And also during this conversation, Roly's like, look at how you treating your friends. And then Summer's like, look at how you treat yours. And she's like, my friends are at home. One thing about Roly, she does say what she means, because she's been saying on multiple occasions, these are my coworkers, this is my job, and none of y'all are like my friends. You know what I'm saying? My friends are at home. So I do feel like, you know, I agree with that. But so then she also reveals that Summer was talking about Lex and Dolly, and then Dolly was killing me because she over there like, what? Like, looking all confused and shocked. So they basically get into it, and then for some reason, like Summer flipped the fan, and I don't know what happened. Like maybe something got edited out or cut out or whatever. But then we get Dolly like trying to get at Summer, and I'm like, what the hell happened that fast? Like all she did was like pop the fan or whatever. Maybe it was like the way she did it, or she, like I said, something probably got cut out or something, because I thought that part was weird. But they try to get to each other and they didn't really get to fight. But so they arrive at the rehearsal now. Everybody is arriving and getting off the sprinters, and we get the BGC girls coming in as well. And shout out to Jayla, shout out to Seven. They look real good. The BGC girls been looking real good, like I said, and I do want to see more of them in scenes and stuff like that, because we haven't really been seeing much of them so far. But they look real good. But they come in, everybody's at the rehearsals, and then we see Bobby come in, and Tommy was me when Bobby came in, because she was like, why is this nigga here? Like, for real, like, why are you here? Because he be throwing me off so bad. Like, I hate him being the audience host at the reunions, because he just do too much and he be annoying, like literally annoying as fuck. Okay, we have them coming in or whatnot, and then we see Bobby. He's like, bring in the CEO, Betty, Natalie Nunn, and Natalie comes in with her little entrance, and she's telling the ladies, instead of it being like club appearances like how we've been doing on the past seasons, we're now going to book out these venues and like have our own shows, basically like it's a concert, a tour, a real tour. And so everybody's really excited about it, and I'm excited to see it too, even though, like I said, we've been seeing like clips online, with the fuck Dolly and all that. But we're just about to step into a different era inspired by Jocelyn's Cabaret, no shade. But so anyways, she's talking to the ladies, and she's like, I want to first, before we get into everything, I want to give out Baddies chains to all the ladies that haven't gotten any thus far. And I want to give out a whole bunch of other stuff or whatever, right? So she calls up CHRISEAN to get the first Baddies chain, and the jokes write themselves, because soon as she call her up, CHRISEAN get to crying.
I want you to feel.
And I'm like, but you the same one, was it last episode when Tiki was crying and she's like, what you crying for? You're a grown woman. You crying over a Baddies chain? A Baddies chain. But your sister was crying over a serious matter, but you crying over a Baddies chain. Okay. Okay. They then give a couple other ladies some chains, and then she tells the BGC girls that she has Bad Girls chains, and everybody was like surprised, because she's told some of the other ladies, but she did not announce it to the Bad Girls or whatever that are baddies. And so everybody's surprised. Tanisha like, oh, it's a really nice gesture, but she also did say like, I wish that me, as someone who kind of like help put together this vision for Baddies, I didn't really receive something with a little more, I guess, substance. And so she was still grateful, but she did want to like expect something more, I guess, from it, which I can agree. Like at one point she was co-EP, or they were both EP, I don't know, but either way, I do feel like Tanisha specifically does deserve something a little more than just a Bad Girls chain, but I did like how they got the Bad Girls chains. Also, I forgot to mention, Natalie was giving Killer her chain, and Summer, here she go again trying to make everything about her, because why does she feel the need to get up and like kind of say something, which Natalie is giving real CEO. Okay, Natalie, this is how I like Natalie. Not too much in the scenes, but she also standing on business, because this is the second time that she'd impressed Summer about her behavior, because usually she'd be encouraging it and just laughing at it and whatnot. But she's like, don't steal her moment. Like, Summer, like, sit down, because when Killer was getting her chain, she like, yeah, that's a real bad bitch. But my thing is, y'all was just beefing. What? Like, you just want to be cool with other people because you know your group is falling apart, which I don't know. It's just weird. But anyway, so she's doing the most and Nat's like, sit down. But anyway, so as the bad girls are getting their chains, right? Sway gets her chain, you know, she happy. She minded her business all the way on the whole other side of the room. And Summer miserable ass. Mind you, lip bigger than a mug, lip huge. She over there like, she look a fucking mess. You look a fucking mess with that big ass lip.
Bitch, you look stupid. Persuasion being around. Some fake ass shit.
And Tommy just laughing once again. Like, Tommy been throwing me off too. Like, she just enabling the weirdness. But I feel like she also, like, we know how Tommy is. She kind of be like making fun of it and don't take it that seriously, because I feel like that's the same thing with Biggie and like her accent with how she reacting and stuff like that. Like, she was just kind of like egging it on because she thought it was funny. So I think this is the same type of situation, but it's like, okay, like she talking about she look a mess when her whole face is tore down. And also that outfit was a mess. Why was your ass crack out? First of all, we've heard on multiple different occasions that she stinks. So for you to have your ass out, it is giving stank. It's giving funk. And I don't like it. But anyways, so she walks up on Sway and Sway like back up, because like also Sway in her confessional, she's like, I don't know what Summer is talking about. Like, she's just yelling out, trying to provoke me, and I'm not really letting nobody bully me. So Summer comes over there and she like, back the fuck up, and Summer got. This is what I'm talking about. I love it. Summer, you got tore. Sway was just giving her straight face shots. I'm not gonna lie. Sway got that, but we didn't really see the whole fight after that. But next week we see Summer and Mariah Lynn once again, which I'm tired of that. I'm tired of saying it. And Nat is getting her ass once again. I wonder what for. But Nat, like I said, she been really doing her biggest. Like, I'm proud of you, Natalie. Okay, it's really giving CEO. But then we get the girls are practicing, and we see Cold Killer's version of the song, and we see Tanka's version of the song, and it looks like they got into it once again about it, which I'm like, at this point, just combine the songs, like, for real. Like, I'm tired of it. So this part had me crying. We got Tommy, she practicing, and then she saw, I guess, Tavy, because Tavy had somebody twerking on her. She was like, you know, doing the little humping thing or whatever. And she's like, I fuck with Tavy. She remind me of DMX. But so Tommy and Tavy looks like that's the start of like their issue that they had with one another. But Tavy was not happy about that comment, because she's like, who you talking to? You know how she be. Who you talking to? And then we see Summer and Lex going back and forth once again. This is the scene where Lex is like crying on the bus and whatnot. They going back and forth. She's like, fuck you, whatever. And then we see Sky versus CHRISEAN. The same one that was, I'm not fighting this season, but you fighting your friend. I'm not fighting this season, but you fighting your homegirl. Respectfully, I'm tired of seeing CHRISEAN, Summer, Gretch. You can go too. Gretch is still a background character at this point in time, but Gretch, you can go home too. For real. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of all of y'all. But that is all for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video as much as I did filming it. But don't forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe. Also subscribe to my second channel once again, because yeah, we're trying to go up all 2026. I will see you guys next week in my next review. Bye.
You said I can't trust